President Museveni asks Ugandans to appreciate General Tumwine's role in Uganda's stability, while 7 KCCA officials sent to prison on charges of fraud and abuse of office. A very good evening to you tuned into UBC TV. Welcome to News Tonight. My name is Michael Jordan Lukoma. This Monday, the 29th of August 2022, and this is what we have for you. Elizabeth Nakakoni is our sign language interpreter. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has joined the rest of Ugandans to appreciate the role played by General Eli Tumwine in the stability of Uganda. Museveni, who described Tumwine as a man who hated evil, has scoffed at social media noise makers celebrating the death of General Tumwine. This was during a national service dedicated to the former security minister, where First Lady Janet Museveni encouraged the general's family to embrace life in the Lord. Our reporters Wayne Kololo, and we have the story in detail.
It is a life well lived, a fact that everyone can appreciate. To join other Ugandans on Wednesday afternoon to celebrate the life of General Eli Tumwine was the head of state. President Yoweri Museveni recounted the roles that General Tumwine played during the NRA liberation struggle.
Tumwine knew Masindi, so we planned for it. And Tumwine linked us with a man called Kaka. You know Kaka? Kaka recently was in Iso, he had some issues, but he did a very good job. This Kaka was, I don't know what, he was a civilian in the town of Masindi. So, Tumwine told us there is a contact called Kaka. We went and got him. He came and joined us. I don't remember how he came, but when he came, we found that Kaka knew Masindi. Now, among the people working in the barracks was a grass cutter. This grass cutter knew everything about the barracks. He would sleep there, he would cut during the day and go and sleep outside. Now, Kaka recruited this one. So again, we knew the guns were there from the grass cutter. But the problem was, how were the barracks at night? Because we were going to attack very early in the morning. Were the soldiers ready? So again, I sent him Mugume Chaga, you go. He went. He went, and the soldiers were coming from drinking. He joined them and went and stayed near the barracks until morning. There was no alert. So we came. Masindi was a big success. We had 760 guns from there. This is Tumwine's work.
Known for firing the first shot in the liberation war, Tumwine was described by President Museveni as a man who was resilient.
So after we were blaming Tumwine that he had panicked, he should not have fired, he should have wrestled with the man physically until we had entered the armory. But this is where I want you people to know, you non-believers. Actually, this was God who did this. God used Tumwine to fire by mistake, actually. But it was God's plan. Why? So anyway, to cut a long story short, when the Tanzanians got in the armory, our people could not get in.
Museveni was, however, not impressed by a section of some Ugandans who had taken to social media to celebrate the general's death.
So, Tumwine and all these other people have joined the socio-economic transformation of that rural area. And I'm sure when you go there, you will see what they have done. And therefore, people who are insulting Tumwine they are wasting their time, because Tumwini is somebody who has accomplished, so much.
To join in prayer was the First Lady, Janet Museveni, who encouraged the bereaved family to put God first in everything they do.
I believe I can say that I understand the emptiness of that experience, because I lost my own father when I was only 7 years old. And I know the insecurity of a home without a father. But since I found Jesus, I know that there is a Father who will never die. And I'm so grateful to him that Tumwini's children have testified with their words there that they know that Father.
And I'm very happy to hear people saying that he died a satisfied man. That's what Enos is the one who was saying that he died a satisfied man. So, with these few words, may the Almighty God rest his soul in eternal peace. Thank you very much.
Other mourners praised the fallen general, calling on haters to honor the deceased.
Really, it's very unfortunate that some people can talk ill of General Tumwine at this time when the whole nation is mourning a well-lived life of a gallant son of Uganda.
I urge our society to learn to be civil, to give credit where it is due, to know that death comes to us all, and to give people their respect.
General Eli Tumwine died on Thursday, 25th August 2022 at Aga Khan Hospital in Nairobi, Kenya. Burial is tomorrow, Tuesday, 30th August 2022 in Kazo District. Henry Okurut, UBC.
That was Kololo, according to Henry Okurut. But besides, again, hundreds of dignitaries joined the rest of the country to celebrate the late Tumwine's life, who was former security minister and presidential advisor, at an official funeral service this Monday. For every speaker who rose up to eulogize the late, all times referred to him as one who has served his country wholeheartedly to the extent of giving in his own life. This one is with Robert Onyango.
The venue was Kololo Ceremonial Grounds. At 10:30 a.m., the body of the fallen general arrived at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds in a fancy glass carrier by the UPDF. A guard of honor mounted by UPDF saw the casket wheeled by generals ushered in ahead of the funeral service. Present were the President of Uganda, the Speaker of Parliament, the Chief Justice, among others. Shortly after the funeral service, a few celebrants were given an opportunity to eulogize the late.
If you know him, the way he dressed, if you entered his house, if you look at the shape of his house in Lukoma, 3 stories of fine art. This man believed in art, lived with art, and has left a legacy of art.
The children, who this time round seemed strong, continued sharing and reflecting on what and who their father has been.
We will miss the energy that he was, and the presence, the smile, the laughter, and all the good memories that he was able to create with us. Daddy did not go anywhere without his camera, always taking pictures and videos of every event, every individual he thought worth.
To me, he was my boss, my dad, and my friend.
Dr. Omoding from Mulago, the team leader of the doctors who have been managing the late Tumwine, reported to the president about what could have probably led to his death.
We're all happy until late July of 2022 when we received a call from Honorable Eli Tumwine. This time around, he had developed challenges with passage of urine, and we're quite concerned. Sooner before that, he had developed challenges in his bowel movements as well. We did a re-evaluation in end of July, and it became very evident to us that we had actually now developed progressive disease. Not only was it only in his lung and lymph nodes and bones, but now it had actually spread to his liver.
Dr. Omoding, however, revealed to mourners that the late Tumwine wanted to die from Uganda, contrary to seeking medication from abroad.
To be honest, His Excellency, it was again not an easy one to convince Honorable General Eli to go to Nairobi. He was very patriotic. He challenged us a number of times. We must have the capability to do and to handle and treat me in Uganda. Going out was not his option.
The widow to the late Tumwine, Jolie Tumwine, urged their siblings to remain firm and emulate their father, who has served this country diligently.
He was a soldier for Christ, a liberator, a person who always stood for truth and fairness despite the cost. Even in his period of sickness, as we interceded through the passage of Hezekiah, we were reminded that God had added him more than 15 years to his life long ago. Through near-death experiences he encountered in his lifetime, he was struck by lightning, was bitten by a snake on multiple occasions, shot in the head, but he survived through it all. We thank God for his life and long life.
This makes the end and beginning of the final and no-return journey for the late General Eli Tumwine, as he is set to be airlifted to Rebikona in Kazo district ahead of the burial, which is expected tomorrow, 30th August 2022 in Kazo district. Robert Onyango, UBC News, Kampala.
The Forum for Democratic Change political party, FDC, has mourned the late General Eli Tumwine, who passed on last week on Thursday. While addressing the media at their headquarters in Najanankumbi, the deputy spokesperson of the party, John Chikonyogo, recognized General Tumwine's contribution towards the liberation of Uganda and urged the young people to embrace his vision.
On Thursday, August 25th, Uganda lost a gallant son, the first NRA Army Commander, General Eli Tumwine. To date, the country is still mourning for the fallen soldier. The FDC fraternity has joined the country to mourn the former security minister, saying he played a big part in liberating the country.
And we recognize the sacrifices made by General Tumwine in liberating Uganda from those governments of those days. Whether we achieved what they fought for, that's another issue. But by the time they went to fight for the country, there was a cause to fight and remove those governments.
John Chikonyogo, deputy spokesperson FDC, urged youths to emulate Tumwine's determination.
You, the youth of today and the elite, even some of you are seated here, what are you ready to fight for and sacrifice everything you have at the moment? Take an example from Tumwine. He left a job, he went and fought. The youth today want soft life. They don't aim higher, they won't aim low. If I get there and I get a car and I get a house, I'm done. You don't care at the country. These people cared how the country will be run in the future.
Relatedly, Chikonyogo asked government to improve the health sector and support other stakeholders to construct a standard hospital to help treat such diseases.
Many people have died outside Uganda. Mutebire, Olanya, Pekosi, sometime back Mayombo, all these people are dying outside Uganda. What we are asking ourselves as FDC, that these people in government, at least ask them for us. They should be selfish enough to construct hospitals, at least for themselves only. At least selfishly, let them construct a hospital where they can go themselves and they will save that money. Even if some of us cannot afford to go there, at least selfishly, let them construct those hospitals, which have facilities of international standards, so that we don't fly them out to waste our money.
General Eli Tumwine was born on 12th April 1954. He is a retired military officer, artist and educator. He was a former security minister between 2019 and 2021. He served as commander of the National Resistance Army from 1984 to 1987. He participated in the NRA Bush War. Irene Faith Nantongo, Juman Samba, UBC News.
At 5 p.m., the body of General Eli Tumwine arrived at Lukoma Model School playgrounds in Lukoma Sub-County, Kazo District. The UPDF chopper touched base at Lukoma playgrounds amid sober mood from relatives, locals and friends. The relatives and the UPDF senior officers received the casket of the body of late General Eli Tumwine to the waiting UPDF funeral service van. Later, the body was driven in a convoy to Mukuru village where the family organized the vigil. Yes, may his soul rest in eternal peace, and as UBC TV, of course, we'll keep you posted about whatever development as they will be unfolding in as far as the program of sending the general off will be unfolding. Thank you so much for watching. At this point, let's take a short break. On return, we have more news from all over the country and beyond. Keep it with us.
I can never be anything better to thank God for. That you are one of those who, in whatever little way, you contributed to the transformation of a whole country, which will lead to the transformation of the whole region, the transformation of the whole of Africa, and the society at large. Adui akija, sisi tuko tayari. Adui akija. Individuals are individuals. All of us will come and will go. But at least the foundation for Uganda to stabilize and to move forward is because of the UPDF. Victory Day. Victory, you know, when you finish well. That is the highest note of life. So that if I'm now saying it, I'm still alive. But I know that even when I die, at least I have a trail that I will be proud of, and I know many people will be proud of. I've lived all these years doing what I love and loving what I do, which makes me do my best to let God do the rest.
Ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy.
Oh, Susan, I want to propose to Rose. Yes, and this time I am serious.
Have you guys had sex?
Duh, of course.
And have you had sex without using condoms?
Hey, Nga, you're curious.
I'm more concerned. Are you having sex with other people?
Hey, hello, is this an interview or what?
No, just things you should think about. Do you know Rose's HIV status?
Okay, this is serious. Should I be worried?
It is actually serious. Do you know your HIV status?
I think I am safe. Many times we get into situations that put us at risk of HIV. However, the first step to ending HIV is getting tested and knowing your results.
It's Time Up HIV. Call 0800-211-046 or text 8080 toll-free for more information about how to prevent HIV.
This message is brought to you by Ministry of Health with support from USAID.
Getting a birth certificate is as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Get a birth notification record stamped by a medical officer from a medical facility where the baby was born, or from a sub-county chief if the birth occurred in the community. 2. Go to the NERA offices in your area and present the notification record, a copy of the parents' or guardian's national ID, and a bank payment slip of 5,000 shillings for citizens and $40 for non-citizens. 3. Apply by filing NERA Form 3 from NERA offices or download it from the NERA website www.nera.go.ug. A birth certificate will then be issued to you. Birth certificates to refugees born in Uganda are free of charge. This message is brought to you by NERA.
Oh, they look nice.
Thank you, honey.
Yo!
You guys gather, it's going down. Gather! Gather!
Yo!
I tell you what.
Yo! Airtel is giving you bigger data bundles for the same price. Dial *175# to choose from our range of bigger Chillax bundles that don't expire. Bigger monthly bundles, all for the same price, and stay connected longer to loved ones. Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Universal Periodic Review is a process under the United Nations Human Rights System which involves the peer review of the human rights records of all United Nations member states every 4 years. As the coordinating entity, the National Coalition of Human Rights Defenders Uganda, in partnership with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, has organized a 2-day stakeholder engagement under the theme, The UPR in Uganda, towards a collective and coordinated action in implementing the UPR recommendations. The chief guest will be the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable General Abubakar JJ Odong. This will take place on the 30th to the 31st of August 2022. For more information, contact the National Coalition of Human Rights Defenders Uganda on email info@hrdcoalition.ug.
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Oh, see. You say I was just trying to get the documents to register for Airtel Money.
You don't need the documents. You just say to register.
What's going on here? He sells things from the shop, and behind my back, he gets the money and gives it to his girlfriends.
But just get Airtel Money Pay so that all money comes direct to your business wallet, and only you, the owner, have access to it.
Just dial *185 *10 hash, and now you are on. No waiting. Huh? This insanity is sweet. Give them also.
I only take Airtel Money Pay. It's easy and secure.
Yes, become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today. Easy.
Not mixing your business money with your Kameza money. No, that's efficient.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
UBC News Tonight. Thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. Prime Minister Robin Nabanja has held a planning meeting with leaders in Kayunga district to streamline service delivery in the area. Nabanja, who had gone to Kayunga to inspect the progress works at Isimba Hydropower Dam, met the leaders at Namagabi Secondary School in Kayunga Town Council.
The leaders, who included members of parliament, political leaders, heads of departments, head teachers of government-aided schools, among others, briefed the Prime Minister on the challenges in service delivery.
Extension staff are volunteering, and this one becomes a challenge now on the implementation of the parish development model because the extension staff services are required. The challenge why they never recruited, which is the wage.
Staff quarters across the district remains a challenge. More classroom construction needed due to the increased levels of learners in school.
Town Council has no any secondary school, contrary to the manifesto of NRM, where every sub-county must be a secondary school.
State Minister for Finance, Amos Lugorobi, told leaders that government, through the monetary fiscal policy, could not release all funds for the first quarter.
Policy is to expenditure in Sasanya, so controlling inflationary pressure.
The other ministers, who included Dr. Chrysostom Muyingo, State Minister for Higher Education, and Alice Kaboyo, in charge of Luwero Renzoli, asked the people of Kayunga to unite.
The sub-county, you know, secondary school at least the Kayunga line up
The Prime Minister asked the people of Kayunga to serve the people who voted them into leadership.
Yes, bagamba 89% kiba kitegeeza abasomesa gye bali. Ese wano kulaba kizibu ki ekiriwo. Lwaki abasomesa bwe baje bali mu masomero abazadde bakyabajjako ssente.
In the day, the Prime Minister visited Kayunga Regional Referral Hospital.
It was on a Sunday. You don't even find doctors there. We were together in Lukoma. We only found student nurses, midwives, just one midwife out of 30-something. So here we have found all your staff on duty.
Gift from the government of Uganda, the government of NRM. They should love it. They must take maximum care of it. Today it's clean. We should come back another day when it's equally shining. The way it is shining today. We mismanage them, and that's my quarrel with you. I hope it's going to be different. And they escalate that to a crisis level where you have the opportunity to have a consultant like him running a hospital
they demoralize the man simply because of a small tap.
The Director, Public Health at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Daniel Chabayinze, asked health workers to shift from curative services to preventive as a government policy.
As leaders, people to prevent disease, immunize, good hygiene, so that we remove pressure from those who have only to keep the critical people who must be in hospital. So things like vaccination, good hygiene should be promoted by all of us.
Right, Prime Minister, Right Honorable Prime Minister, we look at mothers who die. Every Thursday, 8 o'clock, we review mothers who have died in this country. And we've been monitoring and tracking. I want to mention that the mortality rate in this hospital has gone down.
A heavy downpour, however, interrupted the meeting for some minutes, which later subsided and the meeting continued.
Spokesperson Fred Enanga has asked asylum seekers coming into Uganda after gunshots were heard in Bunagana to camp at holding centers for safety. Enanga was addressing the media at Naguru Police Headquarters, as Ivan Kahwa reports.
On Sunday and Monday morning, gunshots were heard in eastern DRC at Musezero near Musanze border in Uganda, leading to an increasing influx of asylums.
As a result, a total of 520 asylum seekers were received at Nyakabande Transit Center through Bunagana and Busanza border points. And this has pushed the number at the transit center to 11,790, whereas the cumulative number of asylum seekers since 28th of March now stands at 45,362.
Security teams in Kisoro are now encouraging asylums to pitch camp at the transit centers for safety.
What we are noticing is that some of them have pitched camp, built tents near the border, and this may not be safe for them because you may find that living under trees in the bush, unfinished buildings and along the veranda shops can compromise their safety.
And in Kampala metropolitan area, 11 suspects have been arrested from their criminal hubs of Katwe, used as areas for planning and issuance of tasks.
So after the criminal briefs, the thugs would start their operations targeting pedestrians around 7 p.m. up to around midnight, and then very early in the morning at 5 a.m.
An additional 80 suspects are in custody in connection to crime in Kampala Metropolitan North and Nansana, while 16 were remanded.
And we shall continue conducting very robust operations to crack down and counter gang crime within the Kampala metropolitan area.
In rather sad news, a homicide in Kikobe district has been registered following a suspected mentally ill mother who hacked 3 of her children, killing 2.
She gave a very clear account of how she murdered the 3 children, which shows that she was fully conscious of what she was doing. She was fully oriented, although she exhibited abnormal behavior.
Meanwhile, police will provide security at the events being held to accord General Eli Tumwine a decent send-off. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News.
Foundation bodies of schools under the Church of Uganda want government to revise the Seed Schools project, saying they are ready to give it land to construct the schools but not surrender their land titles. During the first hearing of the Education Review Commission at Namirembe, the Director Education Services in Church of Uganda, Reverend Paul Kakoza, recommended that government stops constructing seed schools in sub-counties where schools already exist, because this creates competition, hence collapse of those very schools.
Can we find a friend so faithful?
The Education Review Commission was launched by Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, in May to review the education and sports sector on implementing the decisions contained in Government White Paper on Education of 1992 and come up with recommendations. The first hearing was with the leadership of Church of Uganda at Namirembe Provincial Fellowship. Church of Uganda, that had already submitted their memoranda to the Commission, has 5,200 primary and 630 secondary schools. On pre-primary education, the clergy recommend for a form of inspectorate to guide the operationalization of early development centers, while on secondary, want to be involved in formulating content taught in Christian religious education.
And they are leaders in this nation. Because if the schools were not there, maybe we wouldn't have, and they have at least in them the fear of the Lord.
Government to regulate the teaching and educating of the caregivers, because today you find that they are widespread and everyone is entering into the sector with a different curriculum that may not be mandated by the national
Let us also live there that there should be Christian growth. Secondly, whenever an NCDC should collaborate to ensure that the gaps in the content and the assessment should be filled. That when we are, let us assess what is told.
In the government white paper of 1992, inspection organs should be autonomous, which Church of Uganda says is not the case, as many schools have not been inspected.
That let the budget be increased for the inspectorate department, because we understand that there are issues of finance. Give land, but this condition of surrendering the title, we are not comfortable, and the Board of Trustees resolved that we shall not do that. So we are saying that when we give land, let us remain the foundation body as a church, and two, let us be given the opportunity to constitute the board.
The chairman of the Education Review Commission, Amanya Mushega, said the input by the leadership of Church of Uganda will shape their policy recommendations.
When I built a house on your land. Now you tell me that house is yours. I think we need to share, to have something to say. The schools are built by government but run by us, including seed schools today. You find the war between mainly Church of Uganda and the Catholic Church. It causes even problems whether these seed schools should be on our land or on the other people's land.
Other issues raised are the experience of absenteeism and brain drain. I'm Navka Farida and Joel Vobia in Kampala.
See news tonight. We're taking another short break. Keep it with us.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Mbara and Jinja.
Cooking with electricity is now affordable. Cook your beans. Avoid smoke.
Sayaka. Cooking with electricity is now so affordable with the Fumba tariff set by the Electricity Regulatory Authority. With the Fumba tariff, you can now buy up to 70 units of Yaka at a reduced price of 412 Uganda shillings per unit after consuming your first 80 units of the month. For more information, contact the Electricity Regulatory Authority on 0200 506 000.
Ooh, they look nice.
Thank you, honey.
Yo!
You guys, gather, it's going down.
Gather! Gather!
I tell you what.
Airtel is giving you bigger data bundles for the same price. Dial star 175 hash to choose from our range of bigger Chillax bundles that don't expire. Bigger monthly bundles, all for the same price, and stay connected longer to loved ones. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Forget last season. Forget the oohs and the ahs. Forget every moment that stole the show, because the real show is here on GoTV. It's the new season. It's action-packed, and it's going to be non-stop football. With over 1,000 games from more than 7 leagues and cup competitions, plus a World Cup. Make sure you get the best seat in the house this new football season. Get a GoCoder with 1 month of GoTV value for only 25,000 Uganda shillings and enjoy non-stop football. GoTV Uganda. Love it.
UBC Business News tonight. The Director General of National Agricultural Research Organization, Dr. Ambrose Agona, has decried the negative effects of climate change. He says that accounting for the negative effects of Bujagali hydropower on biodiversity takes a lot of consideration.
Scientists have insisted that Lake Victoria and River Nile are habitat for over 500 species of fish, which are getting extinct. Speaking during an inception meeting with stakeholders at Nafiri Jinja, the Director General National Agriculture Organization, Dr. Ambrose Agona, says the scientific evidence shows no contradictions.
You look at the component of biodiversity action plan. If there are shortcomings, if there are mitigation measures that are so required to really help up the game to bring the fish species distribution, the fish species biomass productivity, and also enhancing the water quality. Today we are looking at one aspect which is very, very critical and so forth, trying to monitor performance of the productivity of the waterfalls, especially. We're talking about the land bodies or the farming, we should be distended to that extent. You know, there's an element of silting, there's an element of poor sanitation.
The Biodiversity Action Plan focal person, Dr. Sekirinda Stephen, says the inception meeting will support stakeholders to mitigate arising issues on the project.
In the river does not only come from the development that we are talking about, but also the associated activities in the catchment. Long time ago, we used to have about more than 500 species of fish in our bodies of water. But because of habitat degradation, there's a lot that has happened in the reduction of number of fish species.
Naru and Nafir have embarked on Biodiversity Action Plan funded by Bujagali Energy Limited. The purpose is to implement a monitoring program and conduct additional conservation actions that restore key habitats.
How is this fishery being impacted? The fishing effort on the lake, we need to look at it. At the time, how many fishers were there? How many are there today?
This data must be clearly bring it out. Because we shall go to the policy makers and they'll ask that.
The BAP project, starting September to August 2023, has secured a 500 million shillings fund for the Upper Victoria Nile. It starts at Bujagali and ends at Kalangala Falls. Joseph Oko, Francis Habiona, UBC.
Uganda Veterinary Association has given a one-year deadline to veterinary doctors to get certified to do, or they will be stopped from operating. The Commissioner Animal Health at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Anne Rose Ademoun, said that government has invested money in the agricultural sector in both animal and crop production. She was launching the veterinary membership identity card.
Government invests a lot of money in the agricultural sector in form of animal and crop production.
However, many farmers fail to earn from their sweat due to some untreatable animal diseases. Now, the Uganda Veterinary Association has come up with veterinary IDs to be used by certified vet doctors.
Today is a very good day for us, the veterinarians in Uganda. The identification card of the Uganda Veterinary Association has been launched. This has been done by none other than the Commissioner of Animal Health, whom we regard as the Chief Veterinarian. This card is very important in that it is going to ease a lot of problems, both for the farmer and for the vet. As you very well know, veterinary practice is a bit unique. It is the veterinarians who go to their clients, not the clients coming to the veterinarian. And in this due course, there could be a lot of problems. We have so many people, imposters. So this card is going to save that problem.
The President, Uganda Veterinary Association, Dr. Daniel Kasibule, says the new ID has specifications that differentiate between legitimate and quack veterinary doctor.
We have got the special, most special feature, which is the QR code. This one, once you have a smart card, a smartphone, you just scan it, and immediately it will bring out the details of the owner of the card, including the names, the qualification, year of graduation, area of service. So you will not go wrong. It means you will properly know the person you are dealing with, the person who is handling your animal, the person you are giving money to treat your pet and whatsoever.
Dr. Kasibule has called upon all veterinary doctors to use the stipulated time given to them to register. Farmers have also been cautioned to be keen on who treats their animals.
The procedure of getting the card, one, you have to be a bona fide member of the association by paying the fees, which are very well stipulated, and then you have to be a registered member, licensed by the Uganda Veterinary Board. Because even when you're a member of the association and you are not registered by the Uganda Veterinary Board, it means you are practicing illegally. We don't want people to practice illegally. Knowledge may be good, but people have to be practicing it in a legal manner. It's just like knowing how to drive, but you don't have a driving permit.
On Ugandan borders, the pre-trial conference of the 2022 Kenyan presidential election petition will start on Tuesday, the 30th of August, with the judgment to be issued a week later. Relatedly, voters in Mombasa and Kakamega counties have turned out today to vote for their governors. Marion Dennis Igoa has the details here.
The two counties, one in the Coast Province and the other in Western Kenya Province, have remained strongholds of Raila Odinga for the last decade. According to analysts, Azimio losing either of the two seats, whose elections were postponed after a mix-up of ballot papers in the just concluded general elections, will signal fading political influence in the regions. A win will imply that Odinga is still relevant and that the two regions are still with him despite the outcome of the disputed presidential elections. In Mombasa, Abdulswamad of ODM will be facing off with Hassan Omar, whereas in Kakamega, UDA's Cleophas Malala will be battling it out with Fernandez Barasa of ODM.
Hali ya usalama so far is good. We've not had any incidences. Of course, kuna mambo mengine tumeona wapinzani wetu wanajaribu kuyafanya, but we'll get there.
Just come and vote. It is your right. And anybody else who was coming here with any other plan to Comacho, and we are a big team, and we want to make sure that this is going to be a free and fair process, ndio to go around. But the voter turnout so far is low, and would urge people just to come out and vote.
Relatedly, the pre-trial conference of the 2022 presidential election petition will start on Tuesday, 30th of August. Presidential candidate Raila Odinga is challenging results of the elections where Deputy President William Ruto was declared president-elect with 50.49% of the votes cast. Uganda's Lilian Tibatemwa, a judge at Supreme Court, is among a panel of African jurists who have arrived in Nairobi to observe the proceedings. A panel of 7 judges of the Supreme Court of Kenya, led by Chief Justice Martha Koome, are expected to issue a verdict on the petition on 5th of September 2022. Marion Awori and Dennis Sigowa, UBC News.
African youth and advocates have tasked African leaders to promote the continent's unity and integration as a top agenda in their respective countries. The All Africa Movement Assembly, sitting in Arusha, Tanzania, has blamed some African leaders for serving the interests of their colonial powers and exploiting African resources. The 3-day conference converges youth, human rights defenders, and civil society from all over Africa. From Arusha, Tanzania, Philip Agute reports.
Africa, viva Africa, oh.
Some of the top African-rooted songs kept on playing as thousands across the continent gathered in Arusha City, Tanzania, to deliberate on issues affecting Africans.
Oh, viva, viva, viva Mandela.
The conference attracts civil society organizations, youth movements, advocates, and human rights defenders across the continent and diaspora.
Africa is one of those continents that has to find a way of reinventing itself every day. Why do we have to reinvent ourselves? Because we are dealing with a lot of challenges. Some of them are coming from the colonial experience, that most Africans have a long colonial experience. Some of them are dating back as far as slavery, where Africans were shipped from Africa to other places. So all those experiences require us to start thinking, where should we be, how should we work together, what should we do?
The conference is organized by Africa Rising for Justice, Peace and Dignity, a Pan-African movement with over 30,000 individual members and over 800 organizations. During the conference, there was a call for African leaders to promote African unity through borderless continent.
We are all Africans, and these borders that were created by European imperialists were not created for us. They were created to serve European interests, and they have used consistently and competently the tactic of divide and rule to make sure that we remain poor and we remain bastardized, whilst they have the capability to steal our resources and to steal our wealth and to plunder whatever they can find on the African continent. We must put a stop to it. And so
we all know that, for example, Africa, to become Africa, what happened is that some people sat in a conference in Berlin and they got a pen and paper and they started drawing boundaries that made these countries called Africa. So for us as Africans, we cannot always go back to those boundaries to make us look like that's the only Africa we have.
Others tasked the African leaders to serve the interest of African people.
One of the major problems which I have seen with Africa as a continent is the leaders of Africa. The leaders of Africa, they are not united. Some of the leaders we are having, they are serving the interests of the Western world, the interests of the European. And therefore, these are the kind of people who cannot come together to talk about the problem facing the Africa as a continent.
What is failing Africans? We should not be a disease or a problem to our own selves. We must start by loving our own selves. No one can teach us to love our mothers. Equally, no one is going to come and teach us to love Africa. But that one starts the day we realize that we are the vanguard to the African principles and the values, and we should be a model to democracy, a model to justice, a model to freedom.
The youth activists, human rights defenders and civil society from Uganda also attended the Arusha meet.
You find that in an African meeting, we are seated and then we need translators. Why can't Africa adopt one language and we say that, okay, this is a uniting language that we shall all use as a continent, like the Americans are doing?
Political leaders have focused more on uniting politics for East Africa than uniting East Africa, even in the social aspect of it and the other aspects like economic and
In the past, music and artistic activism played a role in advancing the African agenda, a reason why the artists from Zambia and Sierra Leone are also making their call for united and borderless Africa through music.
Without African unity, then, we'll be going round the circles because we are experiencing a new kind of slavery, economic slavery. So to get out of the economic slavery, we need to unite. Our forefathers gave us political independence. What we need now is cultural and economic independence.
Let's see ourselves as one. Let's unite. Let's bring all the ideas. Let's feel, for example, if Sierra Leone is going through a certain crisis, let Tanzania be part of the crisis, let Zambia be part of the crisis, let Nigerians be part of the crisis, and together we can fight all what is affecting Africans today all over the world.
Flavor. When we're together, the vibe is pretty alright. Our taste is fruity awesome. We are Uganda's #1 fruity refreshment. Enjoy Mirinda Fruity, Uganda's #1 fruity refreshment.
Vimba! Ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Bara and Jinja.
To sports news tonight. The Uganda Dance Sport Federation has continued its regional breaking for gold regional qualifiers with the latest stop at Kajansi Clays in Wakiso district.
Dance sport athletes from the central region districts of Wakiso, Luweero and Kampala have converged at Kajansi Clays for the breaking for gold regional qualifiers.
And we have ensured that we take dance sport in the regions where it has not been known, especially the urban sports. That's why we used regions like Masaka, we use places like Uganda Clays, Kajansi, we use places like Boroboro in Lida for the northern region, and we are going to use Olimpa Africa in Busia for the eastern region.
After a round-robin format in which judges looked at the aspects of musicality, technicality and physicality, each district produced its best. From Wakiso district, Samuel Ziraye, David Kakabi and Pius Kato qualified, while Farouk Sewanyana, Yusuf Mumenya and Ronald Ndaula edged other boys from Kampala. Twaha Lwembao, Colin Semand and Julius Matovu were the best from Luweero district. Kampala region will have Claire Nakasit and Sylvia Nabukenya representing the women's category. The qualifiers have been to Masaka and Lira, with Eastern Region the final stop before the finals on 11th September at St. Juliana Senior Secondary School, Gayaza.
This year, it is quite different that we have even given the students or the learners from Secondary School Sports Association, who were the best 4 champions to participate in this elimination to represent Uganda, as well as they attained points for their fitting in qualifying for Olympics qualifying series for Paris 2024.
The final will have 32 participants, with the best 4 boys and girls to represent Uganda in Seoul, South Korea at the World Breaking Championship and World Breaking for Gold event, which is a qualifier to the 2024 Olympics. John Barnes, Sentamo, reporting.
One of Uganda's most celebrated boxers, Sadir Musa Boji, has advised his peers to maintain discipline and focus amidst hard work if they are to benefit from their talent. Olympian Boji was at the Global Sports Mentoring Program organized by boxing event in Chisasi that was achieved in collaboration with Chocho Sport Foundation. Its purpose was promotion of menstrual hygiene among women for economic empowerment using sports, and attracted more than 100 girls, as we see in this report.
Okufuuka kilabu emu kuz'amaanyi kubasaidiza eno tewavaayo kilabu z'ebikonde ebeereemu kuzigenda okiikirira Uganda muveemu n'abaana abagenda okuba ab'amaanyi mu myaka egijja mu maaso. N'ekirala kye mbasaba tubeere mu mizannyo naye tubeere n'empisa tusobole okutuuka we twagala okutuuka. Muwanika omukono ku kuwa omulwanyi.
Natandikira mu netball nga siinayo njoyininga boxing last year. Nikati abazadde bonna kyembakuutira nti basapootinga abaana baabwe mu any sports activity.
And that brings us to the end of all we had for you at this particular moment. We thank you so much for watching. My name is Michael Jordan Lukoma with Elizabeth Nakakon and the whole team. We'll catch you in a big arrangement at 10 p.m. More news tonight. For now, enjoy the rest of the evening. Catch you then.